Hello, good morning, my dear students. Welcome back. Students, from our daily experiences, we all know that if any straight object, like if it's a stick, a straight stick or straight rod, maybe of any material, if a pen or pencil, even if our hand, if it is immersed obliquely, slantly inside water, and then if it is viewed vertically, okay, from above, then it appears to be shortened and also raised up, isn't it? Again, if anything is placed in an empty tank, suppose if it may be a coin or if a piece of stone or anything, if it is placed in an empty tank or vessel, then from a certain angle, and if we keep our eyes at a certain angle so that it cannot be visible, okay, so then if after some time if we pour some water into that vessel, then after some time the coin or that object becomes visible. Or if we view or if we observe that coin or anything vertically above, it appears to be raised up. Even the bottom of a filled tank or any filled vessel, its bottom or surface also appears to be raised up when viewed from vertically above. Again, if we sink our legs into the water, the legs also appears to be shorter. Now, what is the reason behind it? All these are because of purely refraction of light. Okay, why is this happening? What is the reason? We will try to understand through this video. Now, suppose there is a vessel which contains some water. Okay, and suppose any object maybe a piece of a piece of a stone or any coin. Okay, suppose it is placed at the point O. Okay, and if we try to see it from the radar medium, okay, from above, vertically above, then what will be the scenario? Okay, so this is water, which means it is denser medium. Okay, so now, and this is air, which is obviously radar medium. Now, if we want to see that coin from this angle, now it appears its depth appears to be slightly less than that of its original. Clear? So when we try to see, if we keep our eye at the point C, so what will happen? Let's discuss. So at first one ray, okay, one ray, because we all know that in case of reflection or diffraction, at least two rays are required. So from O, one ray will just pass through this way, that is through the path OA. Okay, to this OA we can give another name, that is A dash, undeviatedly, because it is incident normally, and we have already learned in case of normal incidence, light will refract undeviatedly, light will pass from the first medium to second medium undeviatedly. So since light ray OA is incident on the boundary surface normally, so it will just pass undeviatedly. Another ray, second ray, which travels along path OB, isn't it? OB, and then after entering from the radar medium, it will just move away, isn't it, from the normal. Why? Because it suffers refraction from denser to radar medium, and we have already learned that in case of diffraction from denser to radar medium, the diffracted ray move away, bend away from the normal. So now you can see, now if we keep our eye here at the point C, then I will see that the image, the point O, is coming from the point I. Why? Because we have already learned that due to rectilinear propagation of light, human eye cannot detect the bent path or crooked path of light. I have discussed it in many times. Okay, so since this is the crooked, the bent path of light, and human eye cannot detect this bent path of light, so by producing this ray BC in the backward direction, it will intersect, it will meet with the AOA line at the point I, and I will think that as if it is coming from point I, which automatically makes, okay, this point is slightly raised. So as you can see, O was the actual point of that coin. Okay, suppose it is the bottom of the vessel. Clear? It is the bottom of the vessel. So since it is the actual place, so AO, this is called real depth. real depth means original depth. Okay, but after pouring water, okay, if you see from this, it will appear that it is slightly raised up. As you can see from the point O, due to refraction, it has happened due to pure refraction. Due to pure refraction, since I cannot detect the bent path of the light, so I will think it is coming from the eye. It is our human eye will appear that it will think that it is coming from the point I, or we may appear it as any letter would have. Since here I have used O for object and I for image. Clear? So you can see automatically is raised up. Due to it is not any magic. You may say it is some kind of magic, but the name of this magic is refraction. Okay. So before pouring the water, isn't it? If the vessel is empty, its actual depth is AO, but after pouring water, it is slightly raised up. How much it is raised? By amount OI. Clear? So here AI is called real depth of that object or the coin whatsoever. But due to refraction, by producing the ray, refracted ray CP in the backward direction and the initial refracted light, it will intersect at the point I, which will make the position of the coin of the object in slightly upward direction. That's why due to this reason, the object or the vessel whatsoever will appears to be raised up, and this new depth which is appears to be, since it appears to be, why? Since seems it is not the original. Okay, so that's why it is called apparent depth. Okay, so this is called the real depth and apparent depth. So it means there are two depths, isn't it? One is original, everything has itself original from, but in this case due to refraction of light, another duplicate depth, we can say duplicate depth. So one depth is just, what can I say, is just generated. This is called apparent depth. So real and apparent depth. So it means what are the real and apparent depth? So it means if any object is placed in any denser medium, and then if it is viewed from the rarer medium, then the object appears to be at a lesser depth than that of the original depth. Okay, so that then the lesser depth which appears to be or seems to be is called apparent depth. Clear? So now try to find out the expression of this real depth and apparent depth. So since you can see there is a real depth, there is rarer medium, denser medium, so obviously there will be some diffractive index. So that somehow there may be some relation between the diffractive index and real depth and apparent depth. So from the diagram you can see the straight line AO and BN dash are parallel to each other, whereas OB is the transversal line. Clear? So here we can easily say that is called the angle AOB. This in that case it was the angle of incidence with normal, where R is the angle of refraction. But AO is parallel to BN dash, OB is transversal line, so we all know that there will be two alternate angle. So this angle is equals to this angle. Why? Alternate angle I have mentioned. What is the reason? Clear? So this angle and this angle is I, that is angle AOB equals to OBN dash are equal. They are equal I, because they are mutually alternate angle. Again, OA is parallel to BN. Here OA or this line OA dash we can write OA is parallel to BN dash. Again OC is IR, sorry, this is IR in this case, dotted line. Okay, that is IB. Here IB it will be, here it will be IB or IC we can write in this case. IB or IC whatsoever, this is transversal line, or we can write IC properly, it will be more authentic. So this is clear. IC is the transversal line. Okay, so now in this case also we have angle CBN. Initially it was our refractive angle, or angle of refraction. So this angle is equals to AIB. Why? Because both are identical angle, isn't it? If they are, isn't it? So we can say this angle is equals to this angle, isn't it? It's an identical angle. Clear? So now we have two triangles, isn't it? That is triangle OAB, which is nothing but right angle triangle. So in right angle triangle OAB, we will try to find out the value of sine I and the expression of sine I and sine I. So sine I. So what is the sine I? So in OAB, so this is sine, this is theta. Okay, just move your head like this. So in this case, this is theta, this is base, this is height, and this is hypotenuse. So sine I equals to perpendicular or height by hypotenuse. So sine I equals to AB divided by BO or OB whatsoever. Very easy. Then another right angle triangle IAB. You can see another right angle triangle IAB with the dotted line. So here we have also R. So sine R is again normal or height is the same AB, but here hypotenuse is different, which is called BI. So sine R is equal to height by hypotenuse, AB by BI. So now we will just find the ratio of sine I by sine R. We are slowly approaching to the expression of the second law of refraction, that is Snell's law. So sine I by sine R, easily you can find out AB by BO into AB by into BI. So AB cancels. So BI by BO. Clear? BI by BO, that is BI by BO. Okay. Now from Snell's law, we will use the Snell's law. What does Snell's law expresses? That is sine I by sine R equals to the refractive index of the second medium with respect to the first medium, that is 1 mu 2. What is the first medium here? Here the medium first is nothing but water, so that is water. Then mu 2 means it is air. Now it means the refractive index of air with respect to water. It doesn't represent the refractive index of water. If we want to get the expression of refractive index of water, then we need mu W by mu A, because mu A and mu W doesn't make any sense. But it means that is 1 divided by refractive index of water. Okay. So since W mu A is equal to, so A mu water is equal to mu W by mu A. This means refractive index of water with respect to air. It means refractive index of air with respect to water. It is not the refractive index of water. The refractive index of anything is generally indicates with respect to its rarer medium. Since here rarer medium is air. So in case of glass, if we want to find out the refractive index of glass where the rarer medium is air, then obviously we will say refractive index of water with respect to air. Air will be in the denominator, whereas the denser medium will be in the numerator. Clear? If we want to say the refractive index of water, okay, then in that case rarer medium, suppose the rarer medium is air, then if we want to say the refractive index of water, we will always say refractive index, that is mu water by mu air. In case of glass, mu glass by mu air. Clear? But here you can see this 1 by refractive index of water. So we need to find out the reciprocal, that is refractive index of water with respect to water, which is nothing but A mu W, which is thus reciprocal, that is BO by BI, isn't it? So mu by mu air, so we can say, not directly, mu W by mu air equals to sine R by sine I. Sine R by sine I. So it is opposite. BO by BI. Very clear? So it means now though in the diagram it looks like it's separate, okay, the distance between these two rays, that is OA and OC, okay, is sufficiently large, but actually it doesn't depend, isn't it? When we look, so many rays are coming, so we may assume these rays, whatever they are happening, they are very close to each other. So when it is viewed, okay, so in that case, when viewed vertically, when we try to see it vertically, we may assume the point B is very close to A. So in the same sense, C, okay, B is very close to A. So this ray we may assume that very close to one another. So in that case, we may assume BA is equal to A. They will superimpose BO equals to A. Okay, because it doesn't happen in the distance between the A and B is not like 1 foot or 2 feet like this. Very close. So OB very much close to OA, is very much close to A. So we may assume OB equals to A. Whereas in case of obviously BI, it will also superimpose. It means we may assume that OB is very close to A, OA. So in that case, we may assume OB is equal to OA or IB or BI equals to AI. Very clear? So now refractive index of what are with respect to AI, which is A mu W equals to, since BO is equal to AO and BI equals to AI, so we may write AO by AI. What is AO or OA? Which is called real depth. What is AI? AI is nothing but apparent depth, which I have told earlier, already I have told. So this is the expression of the relation between the refractive index and real depth and apparent depth. So always remember refractive index equals to real depth by apparent depth, not apparent depth by real depth. Now there is a term. So now if you want to find out, we have understood okay, real depth, apparent depth. But if anybody asks by how much amount, by how much the body is raised up, it is generally measured by a quantity which is called shift, which is nothing but the difference between real depth and apparent depth. Suppose if real depth is 30 centimeter and if apparent depth is 20 centimeter, so we can easily say the body is raised up by about 10 centimeter. Very easy. And remember, the depth is always measured from rest water surface, that is boundary, not from the bottom. As we all know that the height of any point inside water, that is depth, is measured from the free surface of the water, not from the bottom. Okay. So shift is real depth minus apparent depth. So now just imagine what actually could happen. What actually happens? Now we have already learned the refractive index of glass with respect to air is 3/2. Now let's see. So 3/2 equals to real depth by apparent depth. So apparent depth you can see 2/3 into real depth. Very easy. Apparent depth is equal to 2/3 into real depth. Now suppose the real depth of any object actually when there was no water inside the vessel. Suppose the piece of iron or the coin, this distance is 30 centimeter. Then after pouring water, what will be its apparent depth? You can see it appears to be 20 centimeter. So what is the reduction? 10 centimeter. It means 10 centimeter is raised up, which is nothing but shift. So here we can see shift equals to 10 centimeter. What's the reason behind it? This is nothing but due to magic of refraction. Isn't it? Actually it is 30 centimeter. But due to the magic of this refraction, all this bending and producing backward, everything, 10 centimeter, okay, it raised 10 centimeter, it is invisible. So you can see the apparent depth. So apparent depth is always lesser than that of real depth, and it is always generally viewed from vertically above. Clear? So now, since there is a shift is happening, so what are the factors that affect the shift? Number one, that is the refractive index. As you can see, more will be refractive index, more will be shift. A shift is indicated by S. Why? More will be refractive index. If the refractive index of this medium is, it means if this is much denser, isn't it? So what would happen? The refracted ray would bend more. So if we, isn't it? Here in this case, so if it were glass or any medium having refractive index greater than that of water, then it will travel more slowly, then after passing it will move further away. So in that case BC will be here, then if it produced back, it will raise up here, which will increase the shift. Very easy. Same in case of thickness. More will be thickness means more refractive index. It would bend more by producing more bend. If it produce, it will the dotted line would be above, which would increase the shift. Number 3, shift is inversely proportional to wavelength of light. How? Very easy. Look at this. We can easily determine this relation from this, because we have already learned mu is inversely proportional to lambda 1 by v proportional to 1 by lambda. We have already learned in the first video. Since mu is inversely proportional to velocity, why mu2 by mu1 equals to v1 by v2. So mu is inversely proportional to 1 by v. Again v equals to f lambda. V is directly proportional to lambda. Clear? Okay. So here we can see mu from this relation, we can easily say mu is inversely proportional to lambda. So since mu is inversely proportional to lambda and shift is directly proportional to mu, so we can easily say shift is inversely proportional to lambda. It means for a light of less wavelength, shift will be more, whereas for light or color of more wavelength, shift will be less. So from this expression we can easily say in between violet and red light, shift will be maximum for violet light. Why? Because violet, the wavelength, in case of the visible light, the wavelength of violet is minimum. So obviously, so it means if we place anything of violet color, it would appears to be raised up more. Clear? So from this we can easily say, if some colored printed letters, okay, if you write something, anything with seven different lights, and if we placed a thick glass block over it, among all the colors, among all the letters, okay, which contains all the 7 colors, the letter which is written by the violet ink, it would just appears to be raised up more. Okay. Now number 4, what is it? Is the temperature. Temperature is similarly, since V is proportional to lambda, V is proportional to T also. So here from this side we can also say V is proportional to 1 by T. Since V is directly proportional to lambda, V is directly proportional to T. So here we can write lambda is proportional to T. So is proportional to 1 by T. So in case if temperature is more, shift will be less. If temperature is less, shift will be more. Hope you have understood.